BP is the responsible party for this disaster. As far as I'm concerned, BP is responsible for this horrific disaster, and we will hold them fully accountable on behalf of the United States. Ultimately, it is our folks down there who are responsible. If they're not satisfied with something that's happening, then they need to let us know, and we will immediately question BP. BP, under the Oil Pollution Act of 1990, is considered the responsible party. What we need is actions that make sure that BP is being held accountable.
The president this week threading the political needle between looking responsible as the president for dealing with the BP oil disaster and making clear that it's the BP oil disaster. For its part, BP is well along in its effort to get out ahead of the company's legal liability. At a congressional hearing this week, the company said it already paid out $37 million in damages claims, including many claims from shrimpers and fishermen. But those are claims that haven't even made it to court. BP is facing nearly 100 lawsuits already in at least 7 different courts in 5 different states. But here's the really interesting part. The company is asking the courts to put all of the pretrial issues from all of those 100 different lawsuits in all of those different states, put it all in the hands of one judge. They have picked their favored judge and requested him by name. He is Judge Lynn Hughes. Judge Hughes, seen here in a conference program for the American Association of Petroleum Geologists. The Miami Herald reports that at least 13 times in the past couple of years, Judge Hughes has been sent for free to the petroleum geologists events all over the world to give lectures. The organization does not pay the judge to give the lectures, doesn't pay him for those themselves. They just cover his travel to places like Cape Town, South Africa, and New Orleans, where the judge addressed a luncheon the week before the explosion at the Deepwater Horizon rig. This judge is also personally invested in the oil and gas industry, leasing mineral rights on 11 different parcels to a number of different oil and gas exploration firms. Now, to be fair, in past cases, Judge Hughes has ruled both for and against the oil industry. We contacted him today for a comment. He was very nice, but he declined comment, citing court rules. So you've got BP, which really really wants the lawsuits against them to all be heard by this one judge in Houston, where BP and Halliburton have major offices and where most everyone at Transocean works, even though they're headquartered technically in Switzerland to avoid taxes. On the other side are the plaintiffs, the people who are suing BP, and a number of them want the cases not to be heard in Houston, but to be heard in New Orleans, where there may not be lots of oil company headquarters, but the effects of the oil disaster sure seem a lot more pressing. A decision on whether or not BP gets its chosen Association of Petroleum Geologists linked oil and gas exploration investor judge is not due until July, by which point the mess in the Gulf should really stink.